Hi guys, today's video is going to be talking about living in the end. This was requested by someone who left a comment asking for a video of living in the end, specifically I think relating to SPs. That's kind of what I'm going to focus on, and it's the main area, relationships is where we really maybe struggle to live in the end or accept that it's real or possible. That's the pattern I've seen with other people. That's even, experiences I've had. As a human, we all think, controlling someone else is the most difficult thing ever, that you can't change someone. So today's video is going to be talking about how to live in the end, what it specifically means, also relating specifically to what Neville Goddard says about this topic, what he recommends, and kind of not quite analyzing, but maybe dissecting a little bit, his quote, trying to explain it to you guys. I picked one specific one and giving you guys my understanding of living from the end and how to easily apply it. So do thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the notification bell because I have a lot of manifestation content every week. And yeah, I also offer one-on-one coaching. If you are interested in my coaching services, you would like some extra personal help, then take a look below. Everything is linked on my Instagram, LOA Coaching, or just get in touch with me and I'll pass on all the details and pricing and everything to you. And let's just get started. So living in the end, to kind of summarize it and give you guys an overview, is having a state of being, a mental state of being that aligns with already having your desire. So how would you not feel necessarily, but like how positive and in what ways would your mental state, what kind of mental state would you have, how positive would you be thinking, essentially positively feeling if you already had your desire. It's essentially thinking from the end and going about your life in correspondence with already knowing that it's yours, whether it's not physically yours in the present, it's acting as if and kind of going about your life in general and how you feel, how you think, as if it is literally already yours, regardless of present or future or whatever. We're not talking about time necessarily, but just the state of being like, I have this is mine. SP is mine. SP is in a relationship with me. SP is committed to me. SP loves me. It's essentially coming from that state. So you would be going about your day as if your desire is already yours. You wouldn't be, checking for results. You'd literally just be living as if it's yours. You'd be living as if you received the text from your SP, as if they committed to you, as if they asked you to marry them. That is how you'd be going about your day. This does not mean you have to go around, now there's a fine line, so I'm not saying you go around telling everyone or your colleagues or your family, I'm engaged, SP proposed. It's not pretending, it's not faking, it's not acting, it's just mentally, internally. And if you can take certain natural actions that align with that, then do that too, essentially inspired action, something natural. Don't go out and try and force it, or don't, buy an engagement ring and wear it on your finger. I'll get onto that point a bit later of how to do that, but I'm not saying go out and literally pretend and spend money and time on things that doesn't even make sense to you, doesn't benefit you in any way, and also not forcing the 3D, but it's just naturally thinking as if you already have it. Going about your day in a calm, natural state, in a relaxed state, and just taking positive action for yourself, not worrying, not checking the 3D, not spiraling. So I'll go on to different points of how to maintain this state, because it's easy to say, oh, you just do this, you just be relaxed. But there are obviously ways to maintain that, get into that state. But I'm also just trying to break down to you guys what living from the end actually looks like. As I briefly touched upon, you can, take natural inspired action, take action and do things throughout your day that align with the end result, but it's not going overboard. It's not you messaging all your friends or, changing your last name on Instagram to your SP's last name. It's not that kind of action, because that's also kind of forcing it and trying to get a specific outcome through, like manual physical action rather than going internally in your mind. But there are small, natural, I don't want to say rational, because obviously manifestation is not logical. It's nothing to do with the logical, rational 3D reality, but just use your reason and, rationality as a, intellectual human being. Like, is this an appropriate thing to do? Am I going to go bankrupt by taking this? living from the end type of action, thinking from the end type of action, you know, it's up to you to, you know, use your intelligence to decide, you know, is this the correct action? But generally you'll know it's like small physical actions, personal actions that relate to you as an individual. So if you're, you know, at home or in a dorm room, if you're a student, whatever, wherever you are, wherever you spend a lot of time and you have time to yourself, you can do things like wear, you know, a ring that looks like an engagement ring on your ring finger. And you can tell yourself, I love being engaged to SP, like, oh, this ring looks so good on my hand. I love that he proposed to me. I can't believe I'm about to be a wife, a husband. Well, not really a husband, but like, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying. It can apply for anyone, whatever your situation is. Generally, you know, a woman would wear an engagement ring, so that's why I'm speaking from a feminine perspective. But you know, whatever you want to do, if anyone can wear an engagement ring, you can do whatever you want. So it's little things like that, or writing out like a diary entry and being like, today was amazing, you know, my SP did this and he proposed to me and like I love how committed he is to me and we had the best day ever, blah blah blah. It can be small acts like that that help you literally live from the end. So it doesn't have to be that literal. Obviously it all comes from your mental state of being. That's the most important primary focus. It's not, oh, I wear an engagement ring, so, you know, I manifested my SP. It's not going to work that way. You have to focus on your thoughts. But living from the end is literally coming from this positive, happy, knowing and trusting state that it is yours. It is literally physically coming to you in your reality, and that in every other way except the physical, you know for a fact that it's already yours, and that the physical is on its way because everything else is done. You've put in the work, you've manifested them, you understand manifestation and the law, so it's yours. So you act coming from that belief. Now, you don't have to fully believe, because again, as humans, it's natural to sometimes have doubts or questions or have a few moments of little spiraling. You just come in with your mental diet, you flip it with your affirmations, you bring yourself back into that state. So it's okay to waver and falter a little bit, as long as, you know, you're then aware of it and you're like, no, backtrack there, ego, backtrack mind. We're going back into the state of being, we're affirming, we're doing a mental diet. So it's bringing yourself back into that state if, you know, during those moments that you might be wavering, but also knowing that, you know, I can't mess it up, it's mine, I've manifested it, I'm in the right state, and you just go about your day. So sometimes it can take a while to get there naturally, so don't panic, you don't have to live from the end, you can just loop your affirmations all day and it will still manifest. But if you want to apply living from the end and understand it better, this is kind of what it boils down to. So I wrote down a couple examples of other things that you could do. Again, not putting in a lot of time or energy or money. You're not going to do, you know, harmful things that will harm you financially or physically in any way, or ruin a relationship or have people, you know, try and institutionalize you. It's just, you know, small acts that you can do for yourself to live from the end in your day-to-day life. So you can do things like plan out a trip with your SP, you know, go on holiday websites and be like, oh, you know, me and SP, I know that he's my husband already, I know that she's my girlfriend already. I'm so happy and I can't wait to take our next trip. I'm going to start researching it now. And you're kind of just like training yourself to think from the end, almost doing a mental diet by focusing your mind on this new reality as if you are literally taking a trip with your SP. And it's not to force yourself, not like, but like if I Google, you know, holidays and I pretend it's with my SP, then my mind will suddenly conform. It's not like that. It's for you to naturally do it and feel inspired and want to, you know, take this action, be like, oh, I'm so excited. I know the trip is coming up so soon. My SP absolutely wants to travel with me and spend all their time with me. And I'm just going to look up trips that we can take together. It's like meant to be a natural, fun, enjoyable action, as if you're literally already experiencing that reality. So you can, you know, start faux planning out a trip with your SP. You can wear a ring on your ring finger. Like I said, if you have like a faux diamond ring or something, put it on your ring finger and like go about your day and like look at it and remind yourself, do your affirmations and get into that state of what it would actually be like to be engaged to your SP. You can start, again, if this is a natural action and you're not manifesting a person, but you're manifesting a different type of manifestation, you can send in job applications. You can send in university applications, you know, whatever the, you know, tangible or life goal manifestation you're trying to achieve. you can take action towards that, you know, especially if it's like getting a job. Obviously, one of the actions is going to be applying in one way or another, whether it's a physical, you know, online application or contacting someone, whatever. If it feels natural to you and you feel happy or excited or motivated to do it, then it is most probably the correct action. So I want to stress that do not force the 3D. I'm not telling you to go out and, you know, send a million messages and say, okay, this is how my manifestation comes in, because that's you trying to force the outcome. But if it feels natural and you're like, yes, I'm gonna, you know, send out these applications, I'm gonna, you know, work towards that goal. I know that if I send applications, I'll get so many interviews from it, something like that. So it should come from a natural, happy state. Also, to remind you guys that your emotions do not manifest. Goal is to convince your mind. So you don't have to feel as if you're engaged to your SP. You don't have to feel as if you already have your desire. You should be coming from a more natural, stable mindset to do this, because otherwise you're just not going to enjoy acting, you know, as if you're living from the end and thinking from the end and just getting into that state. Sometimes you need to build up to it and get to that place naturally in your manifestation journey. And as a conscious creator, you know, learning about your power, trusting in the process. Sometimes it really just takes you getting to that place before you can do this. But also remember that, you know, if you are having a bad day, if you're feeling anxious and scared about not having your SP or your manifestation, that whatever it may be, those emotions don't manifest. It's literally all about convincing your mind. So even if you're acting out all these mental or physical acts of living from the end, the main thing is that you're focusing your thoughts, so going internal. So just to summarize, I have an actual quote from Neville Goddard, which I don't often speak about him directly in my videos because I'm not, you know, parroting or trying to teach his teachings. I'm not a Neville Goddard coach. I'm just talking about manifestation in general, my experience and my learnings. But obviously, he's like the godfather, the original OG teacher of manifestation, so, or at least law of assumption. So I wanted to obviously bring in a quote from him directly because he specifically talks about living from the end. So here he says, if you will assume your desire and live there as though it were true, no power on earth can stop it from becoming a fact, which is a really great quote and philosophy to remind yourself of if you're wavering or spiraling or not feeling great and, you know, you're not feeling as if you can live from the end. Then this is it's showing you that literally all you have to do is assume it. Start to think from that end result. Start to live your life as if you already have it. So no negative actions, no spiraling, no checking the 3D, because you would never do that if you were already engaged to your SP, had your manifestation, had your SP exactly as you want them. You wouldn't be doing those things. So it's literally about assuming it and creating the assumption mentally so it becomes a fact, solidified as a belief in your mind, and, you know, live there. So stay in that state of having it. Mentally think the thoughts, you know, take some natural action that aligns with having that result, having that, you know, end desired result. And if you do that, if you can dwell in that state and stay in that trusting and knowing that it's yours, then nothing can ever stop you from having it, except maybe giving up. But if you stay in that state, it is yours. So hopefully that kind of explains everything really clearly to you guys. I know I didn't go too in depth with the Neville Goddard content, but I just wanted to include that quote. I thought it was quite inspirational and kind of maybe help clarify things a bit better. So yeah, do thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the notification bell if you enjoyed this content, if you'd like more manifestation videos, and of course leave requests or any comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.